We're on. We just have to apologize to our listeners profusely. We just want to give an apology to all the viewers and persons who have been listening in because we had a massive breakdown with the system, not just with internet alone, but almost let a crash. But then we have managed to get our engineers to work some miracles to try to get it back up to speed. So we want to apologize. Because before we went to the break, we were running the video with the last year's diaspora, the last diaspora conference, and some of the issues that were at stake and that came out of it, and a discussion between Mrs. Johnson Smith, the minister, and of course Mr. Courtney Campbell. I'd say if we can resume that discussion for you very quickly, and then we get into a break.
Team who has been actually pulling the levers and doing everything that needs to be done, and that will give us the best guidance on how we go forward. And here are their suggestions. What would have been easier if we had done it this way or that way? Yeah, absolutely. Nothing more important than hearing from the ground.
One statement to describe not just how you feel, but the kind of a work that has put in your organization, the people, the team, the legacy partners, and so on, and you're now here at this juncture. Give me a statement to describe.
I would say this has been a most fulfilling exercise. I think it has been a great opportunity to contribute to the building of the Jamaica that we want to see. I love the theme that we have followed: United for Jamaica's transformation, fostering peace, productivity, and youth empowerment. But, I've always been underscoring the word united, and I think what we have seen here is the potency of a united Jamaica.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Minister, you would of course endorse that, and what else would you add to that?
I would add that the youth engagement that we've had here has been phenomenal.
Okay.
And that speaks well to succession.
Yeah.
It speaks well to continuity, and it speaks well to growth. So the more we connect with the young people in a real way and get them interested and teach them about, because we had youth leaders here from the Union of Tertiary Students, from Secondary School Council, from National Youth Advisory, National Youth Parliamentarians, to engage with the diaspora young people and make the connections, because the ones in the diaspora want to connect here with their roots, and the ones who are here want to learn from outside or explore opportunities. So it is that coming together, I think that has brought a particular richness as well, that we're not just talking about the young people. We are making them a part of things, and we're ensuring that they're empowered to develop plans for themselves as well. And that has, to me, been an additional element of which I think we can be proud.
I spoke to some of the young people of the United Kingdom.
Oh, yes?
Yes, and they were quite excited.
Yeah.
One guy said, I'm going to start some, with my group, we're going to start some come home to Jamaica vacation trips.
Yeah.
We want one river. We want
Yes.
So they're all motivated and excited about the experience.
Yeah, man.
And they want to know, what can we do?
Yes.
So I said, well, keep connected to the process and talk to the, get meetings to the center.
Yes.
And see how that works.
Yeah.
Minister,
absolutely.
Congratulations on a successful conference.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The hard work that you've been putting into.
Thank you. I appreciate
and
it.
your team?
Listen.
Yes.
I can't take the thanks for myself. I have to take it for the team. I have to take it for everybody at every level who has been working day and night to make this thing a success. Those who are here and those who are still at headquarters, making sure that the wheel keeps turning. So I thank you for the opportunity for me to share my thanks to them publicly, because they are amazing, and we could do nothing without them.
How would you add to that?
Just to thank the minister as well, and to ask her to convey to her team our appreciation for their support. And, it has, as I said before, it has been a joy really to work with you, Minister, and your entire team. It has been a really good experience. And I want to use the opportunity to thank my team in VM. Yes, they have really pushed hard. They turned up in large numbers. And
President
sacrificed a lot of time and energy. So really, I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
And I'm also very appreciative of the work done by the other legacy partners, as well as our record number of new sponsors.
Yes.
Those people came on board Island Car Rentals,
Yes.
Continental Bakery.
Yes.
We know them as National. Bloomer Capital. Yes. I'm going to forget some, but the truth is that all of them who came out as sponsors, they responded to an appeal. We think we had a good product to offer.
Yes.
They agreed, and we know that they put the work in. Digicel, we know they put the work to make for a good conference. So I want to just say through this forum, thanks to all the sponsors.
And thank you both for giving this to the process.
Yes.
And we look forward to even greater things on you both.
Absolutely.
That is one who's going to be bothering you.
And Tenny,
And that's okay.
Tenny, the biggest thanks goes to people like you, all those from the diaspora who sacrificed time, money, effort to make the trip to Jamaica.
And to promote.
And to promote. You didn't have to be here.
No.
You had other things to do.
Oh, yes.
But you made the decision, and that's a big statement of confidence. So thank you.
And to the naysayers that say, what's the need?
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes.
The road is long, as I said before, with many winding turns, but it leads us to great work and success. If you put in the work and the effort. Thank you so much to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and with great responsibility for the diaspora. And of course, our partner in crime, success, full crime, Courtney Campbell, President of the Victoria Mutual Building Society and Chairman of the conference. Thank you both, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Enjoy that. Yes.
That was the sense experience. There we go. So there you have it. We had that. Again, I apologize for the breaking transmission because we're showing you, winding up of the last diaspora conference, and the responses are from the two major players in the game: the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Minister herself, and of course, Mr. Courtney Campbell, head of VMBS, and their thoughts and their sharing and they, expressing their gratitude to the various persons whose shoulders they were standing on in order to have, coordinated and, conducted the kind of a conference that was able to be staged last year. For this year, there are new innovations. There are some new things which are in the marketplace, and some new, some novelty issues that are going to be bringing to the fore, how the various persons, the conference will be able to interact with each other, and the kind of a new technology that will be used in that process. We're going to be looking at, and they have some of the new players, new partners that are on board, and look at some of the continuous work of the legacy partners that are there: Grace Kennedy, VMBS, Jamaica National, and the government of Jamaica, and some other persons who have been key players and who have been there and have stayed with the process for the last 14 or so years as the conference grows and develops. And like I say, one of the things that I think is going to be highlighted is some of the achievements, the connections, the connectivity, some best practices which have developed over the last couple of years, and on how we look at projecting the conference going forward in light of technology, and against the background of Melissa, and there are various other international challenges that we have had, and certainly we are hosting this conference this year right at the brink of the introduction of possibly the next World War, with the level of stubbornness and irresponsible level of leadership that is being shown by some of the so-called world leaders, and the kind of a selfishness with which people are now operating in their country, and how they are treating other countries, and how they're treating the life and livelihood of other people in the world, and not realizing the kind of rippling effects that their selfishness and their concerns and their whole protectionist attitude and posture and policy will be affecting the rest of us and the rest of the world. So we're at that edge. So those of us here in the diaspora, those of us at home in Jamaica, those of us as a part of the Caribbean and the Caribbean diaspora, we have to now look at how do we find a way of revisiting our history, our tradition, our best practices, our culture, and our neighborness. We are all next shore neighbors, so to speak. So how we now look at our protectionist program and policies so that we can find common ground and find common ways within which to survive as a region and as a nation, as a people. And that is what part of what the diaspora conference will have to begin to look at in terms of how does the Jamaican diaspora work with the rest of the Caribbean diaspora, and how we reach out to our Caribbean neighbors, our next door neighbors, to say, how do you engineer your diaspora to begin to look at, let us work together, the whole unity of purpose, and how we look at, the commonalities that we common grounds, the things that affect us as Caribbean people, and how we're going to find ways to work together, how we find ways as Caribbean people to work together so that for our own survival, food security, for example, is one of the things that we have to be starting to look about, and how we here in Jamaica prepare for food security in a serious way. We're talking about generation. There's a call for more to an increase in the population so that we don't have, within the next 5 to 6 years, or by the time we finish the next decade, you're going to have a problem with having a population crisis, because having enough young people out there, and it's not just the energies and the bodies out there, but one of the things we have to look at that as a nation, and not only just how the diaspora come home and help to strengthen and fortify and build back Jamaica from whether it's hurricane or anything, but how do we seriously educate the nation to be prepared for what is to come? How do we educate the nation in terms of the young men in the nation? Because one of the problems that this nation has is that our young men are in crisis. We have a situation with our young women, and by all means, we applaud them, and a lot of women are advancing in terms of not just age, advancing in age, but they're advancing in terms of their education and getting in the spheres there where men used to just dominate once before. Women are getting inside there, and part of that reason too, and nothing's wrong with the involvement, but part of the concern is that some of the men are not equipping themselves, are not being prepared, and I don't know if the system is failing them, or the parents are failing them, or the government. But whatever it is, we have to look at how we now look at preparing the young men them to take over the future. Otherwise, within the next 10 to 15 years, them type of women are going to run this country, women are going to run the world, women are going to run the Caribbean. And already we see, the strength of a woman in terms of the kind of a woman that we have now, among men in the Caribbean. We have Bisesa out in Trinidad, for what it's worth, she behaves in some questionable way, almost, and in my opinion, seems to almost anti-Caribbean, and she's a Caribbean woman, but then that's a matter for another discussion. She seemed to be somewhat more attuned to genuflecting to other people and other powers and other countries for whatever purpose or reason, without, with such level of, without ever casting any stone, but just to say that, she needs to, look at what she does and how she's doing. She's representing people and not herself. And I'm not sure that her position is not personal, rather than a reflection of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, she would dare want to think that her opinion also is a reflection of what Caribbean people feel or think about some things and the kind of a relationships and romance that she has been having, political romance that is, with other people across it. But we want to be able to, get to that and more. We have Mayor Matley, of course, with a tower of strength and a master stroke in terms of leadership for the Caribbean. This is Tenny Miller coming to you live from the studios of Flex FM TV and radio and the Tenny Miller Live studios. We're going to go to another break. When we get back, the discussion continues. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency, NLA, can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one goal.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better. Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency, NLA, can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly
satisfying or dissatisfied, how innovative, how and far-reaching that they thought that the conference might have been, and for the various, and how perhaps their stakeholders and partners view their involvement in the conference, and certainly the fact that some of the partners are there, still legacy partners are still on today, like Grace and JN and so on. It's an indication that it is going well, and they're excited about it. So with the launch that they had yesterday at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I used the opportunity to just ask the minister about what were some of the new things, in particular, how are they using technology to advance and to make this conference, this year's conference, a little bit much more personal, much more effective, and much more far-reaching and useful, to the participants across the diaspora, considering a lot of these people are coming out, people who have embracing the technology and having a romance with the technology in one way or the other, and are looking forward to innovations in that area, so that they can better understand the opportunities which are abound here in Jamaica and how they'll be able to make use of it. I just take a look at this clip that I had coming from yesterday's launch. I just tried to have a brief one-on-one with Honorable Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and the anchor of the Jamaica Diaspora Conference. Fine. The person who she gives the put in the shaft to run with it is Minister Terry Long, Delano Terry Long, who seemed to be Arlanda Terry Long, who also seemed to be doing a good job, and he's very excited about it, and he seems to take the portfolio responsibility very seriously. So this is his first official formal conference as the man in charge there, being supported by people like Consul General or Ambassador Hall and others. Stay tuned, take a listen at this discussion. The clip from well, we're trying to get that clip ready for you from the diaspora conference. We don't have it ready? Okay, all right. I will save it for another time. If we don't get it before the program finishes, then certainly we'll have that for you, so that we can, in our next discussion as we speak about the diaspora. Because going forward, we're going to be having an element of the diaspora in our program going forward. I thought we would have had that clip ready, but it's not. Okay. Now, there are other things that are out there in the public domain and out there in the social and other space. And there was a news article, or there was a news story about a blogger or a social media personality who seemed to have gotten caught in a skirmish. And one is wondering whether or not situations like that, which has to do with man meet you in the public space, with threatening to shoot you and drawing guns and people getting shot and that sort of thing, because you have taken a position in the space about an issue which affects the rest of the public and the rest of everybody else. And as a journalist or as a thing, you take a position and you say exactly what's your perception of the thing. And then next you know, you're being on the firing line. Take a look at this.
Artist 450 reportedly turned violent. According to reports and what people are saying online, the situation reportedly started with a confrontation between Jay Frey and members connected to 450. The confrontation allegedly escalated into a physical altercation, and moments later, the situation reportedly turned serious when a firearm was pulled. Reports circulating online claim that two members of the entourage were injured during the situation. In one of the clips, dancehall artist 450 himself can be seen at the scene, appearing a bit confused and unsure of what to do as the situation unfolded. Another person believed to be present was producer Javi Ambassador, who also appeared to have been injured during the situation. However, based on what people are saying online, his injuries did not seem to be as serious. Now, since the clip started circulating online, a lot of people on social media have actually been defending vlogger Jeffrey. Some people are saying this is a reminder not to judge a book by its cover, because you never really know a person or what a situation can turn into. Right now, the full details are still developing, and people are waiting to hear more about what actually happened. What do you think about the situation and the reactions online? Let me know your
I don't know. What seemed to be, I don't know. I don't want to feel that we're developing this level of backwardness as it relates to, because some of that is in North America too, you know. The level of ignorance, arrogance, and backwardness that permeates the culture of the first world and in black communities is questionable, you know. And I don't want to feel that our society now is, you know, we tend to copy everything from first world, from so-called first world and from America, as if to say it is gospel, and therefore then we must all pay attention to it. But it is something serious. So when I take a position on a matter that I think shouldn't go so, and something that it must be spoken about, then what it means that what I have is like what I'm doing, using my head to catch my door. It means that I'm going to expect that people are going to come after me because I say that this ought not to be. So if we don't have a conscience of the society, what is going to happen to us as a people and as a nation? And why can't we agree to disagree agreeably? And who says we are all correct? And who says I am correct? But I have an opinion and I express my opinion and a concern about a matter. And you else might want to have one, and that's okay. And the technologies are such in this day and age that every dog and a woman knows now a cameraman and is a video operator and is a journalist. You know, so and our nation is a talking nation. There's not another set of people in the world can chat like Jamaicans. We're one of the most developed countries in the world in conversation and in chat and on paper than anybody else. So it's unfortunate that that incident take place. So people who are bloggers or social media commenters or influencers are now at risk. And I don't know, we have to rely on the police or the General Security Service to give us protection, to give us some amount of support as to what happened. But it's something that is very serious and ought not to be taken lightly. And I don't know if you want to ask for bloggers or whatever association, because I don't know if we want to get there. Then you're going to have an association of the on-card vendors and all of the igglers, and everybody's going to be an association, and then I don't know where that will lead to. But this is something that is serious, and it must not be taken lightly. And INDECOM must be given information about these things when they happen, so that the matter can be investigated. And I think people must understand that people have a right to speak. They have a right to self-expression, whether or not you agree with them, yes or no. And God forbid if we're going to be a situation whereby the government is going to, or the police is going to want to, you know, arrest somebody or hunt you down and look after you because you have an opinion, whether you're a journalist or you're a blogger or you're a writer of one sort or the other, you're a broadcast journalist, and then you'll get, you know, singled out for an attack. These things must not happen. And we must speak out clearly and forcibly against it. We must speak out against it. And some of these ignorant people must get information first before they open their mouth, one, and before they start to accuse other persons, or they don't understand what people are speaking about and therefore then they should more or less try and be informed before you pick up a gun. Speaking of which, the security forces are elated about the fact that we have had a reduction in crime, and that is good and must be commendable. It is commendable, it is good, and they must be commended. They have some nuances around how they achieve that, but then that's another story for probing and investigating and so on, and will take us into another discussion for another time. But just two quick things where that is concerned is that one, we hear that the crime reduction is there, but we don't hear that the gun reduction is out there. Where the gun them there? Where is the gun amnesty? How are we going to get the guns out of the hands of the criminal who turns back with the gun under a breadfruit tree, or in the mango walk, or under the ackee tree, or them wrap it up in a mattress and sew it up and make it look like say the mattress is all right and you go inside there searching and nothing, but then when you put police gun or something, then them cut out the mattress and take out the gun. Huh? To begin, because these guys are getting innovative and more shooting. And that is good. And they must be applauded and they must be commended. Yes. You are taking anything away from them. Don't know if it's a matter that it is also working or whatever it is that is working. Fine. But I still have a concern and see. I mean, what kind of society we have? What kind of country we're running? Of security. The guns are still out there. Now we have to look at when you give the for you're not satisfied with what you get. And you know, need to look a whole gun, you need to know so you get some of the modern AK-40 this and the, whatever them have. You need to be able to get those, and when you get some of them now, once you put out an amnesty and it done, then you can also have a crackdown. So we are come for the gun. And you know, tell them, say I come for the gun, you just wake up one morning and everybody find themselves under siege. You might have to do that. And we have to understand that it might cause some of our freedoms to be a little bit curtailed in order to get that done, but it has to be done. We cannot talk from out of both sides of our mouth, and we can eat with cake and have it. It's either eggs or young ones. But we have to do something about it because it cannot continue to go along like this. It cannot. And while we're saying that, those persons who have the legal right to use a gun, like policemen, you're trained at a training school, you're given psychological training and behavior training, you are given religious training by the chaplain at these institutions and these places, and you are given all sorts of support, and they might try to organize the money part. But you have some members of the security forces are still with criminal mind. You have some members of the security forces are still irresponsible. Because when you hear that so much like a picnic, babies, 3-year-old, 13-year-old, being shot by the police, whether it is deliberately, accidentally, circumstantially, or, you know, whatever the issue, a little bit is too much when it comes to that. We already complain, so we have a population price, and you kill up the little picnic them before them reach 15, 16, 7, 10. What's going on here? There's something wrong with some of the, and then the police, they have to find a method and a mechanism to flush out some of those guys out of the force, because some of them go into the police force with the intention to commit crime, you know, or go in to go kill somebody, or to take vengeance on somebody, and people will pay some people money, pan the side, say, go into the force, me pay your mama or your father one money, go inside there, and then you go after them people are for me. And them now become criminal in a police uniform. Now, send everybody. because you have some decent, respectable young people, decent, and when they meet you on the road, you can't tell. And they might be used from the get-go wherever, but they make a commitment to not only just to serve and protect, but they want to see justice, they want to see decency. They want to see a society with laws and things moving in a particular direction and the growth and development in a society. And they decide to go inside of the security force and to make a contribution to the development of the country, and they can make it in that area. And we must applaud them and we must support them and give them all of the respect and all of the support. Equally too, they must remember that they are the servants of the public. So they must come and look on big man, whole big man like me and say, so where I say, where I do for yourself, or you realize you broke the light, or give me your papers. Have some respect when you talk to members of the public. Don't care how humble up the person might look. Put on close by your argument, officer. Officer, put on close by your argument. Speak to people with respect. Be decent so that people can respect you and deal with you with a certain level of decency. Because as the man said with the computer, garbage in, garbage out. And if you talk to people with disrespect, and if you talk to people with treat people with impunity, then it's going to come back at you like a kitchen sink. It's going to come up like when somebody choke, as they call it. And then it turns out into something different. And then some of you who can't hold your tension and can't hold your gun, who don't exercise the training that you get, begin to get short-tempered and say, boy, the man had this me now. And you said, the boy had this me because the big man now become a boy. Or if it is a boy, whoever it is, the person had this you and think, not because the guy look like him have on him shorts and t-shirt and him a drive one car or something. Don't treat him like a criminal or with disrespect. And if he cannot answer the questions correctly and properly, then you use the law within the context of what it is given and carry out whatever it is you have to carry out. And don't make you feel say that you don't have the reason. You have a reason to stop a man. What is the reason? We're not in a police state. We're not in a police society where you just wantonly and do people like that. But we have some issues with crime. I agree with that. So therefore, there are some extenuating circumstances. And I understand that. But don't abuse the power nor the privilege. Do not abuse the power or the privilege. And we're warning the policeman them. Not take it out of context. Not go bully rag people because you have a gun on your waist. And dog up people. Have respect so that you can be respected. You're wearing a uniform that is not only expensive and costly, and the boot and the training where you get. Because to train each one of you, before you go on the road, it must cost about $150,000 or more. It must nearly $250,000 for train each one of the policemen them to get them ready to put them out there. So there's a chunk load of taxpayers' money, which could have been used for other things. And so when that money is spent upon you, for you to go out there to be a servant of the public, to serve and protect lives, the indigent, the elderly, the children, the women, the mothers, please, listen, do the right thing. No? I'm going to shut up at this point. It is Roy Tenny saying thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I know you have an opportunity to do anything else. So when you listen to this program, whether while we're live or later on, we are privileged. And if you hear about it, you one tell one. We're on every Thursday between the hours of 12 and 2 Jamaica time or 1 and 3 Florida time, United States time. Tune in. Any issues or concerns that you have and you want to share, send us an email at tennymillerlive@gmail.com. That's tennymillerlive@gmail.com. Make sure that you follow us on our Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook page. Follow us and send a shout out, send a message, and any issue that you have a concern about or you don't like, let us know. We'll be more than happy and willing to make sure that we fix it so that it can be, representative and can give you an answer when we meet again. Until I join you again, you sleep the sleep of the just, free from all your cares and sorrows. And as your night turns to day, as indeed it must, may you wake to a brighter tomorrow. You walk good.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better. Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp